A photo exhibit at the Steven Kasher Gallery here in New York City offers a unique perspective of the historic Selma March. It displays images taken by James Barker from the viewpoint of the participants. James Barker joins us to talk about his amazing work and that unique experience. James, welcome to Arise America.
Thank you.
Such a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
I want to talk about some of these photos, and particularly the ones that really stand out to you. But before I do, take me back to that time. How did the occasion come for you to go down and document this iconic time in our history?
Well, it happened just 2 days before the march. 5 o'clock, I was on the staff at Washington State University in Pullman, Washington. I get a call, and they said, "You've been selected possibly to go down to Selma. We know of your work with people, and we'd like to send you." And the first thing I did is run to the refrigerator and see if I had enough film. But a few hours later, I flew to Chicago. There were 3 of us, and then on down to Montgomery Saturday, just the day before the march, and the photography began when arriving at Selma.
Did you have any hesitation? Civil rights movement was in full swing, if you will, at that time. There had already been clashes. Did you ever give it a second thought?
I did know. I mean, there, of course, being a great distance away, and I had seen, the pictures in Life magazine and all, but also realized that this was a point where thousands of people were going to be arriving, and that there would be probably no violence at all. So that wasn't a real concern.
What's unique about these photos, and we have them up as you're talking, is that you really did concentrate on the participants. And as I looked at some of these photos, I found myself, I was trying to guess what the atmosphere was. And in some of these, the participants look very stoic and determined and tense. And in other ones, you see smiles. There was 2 little boys, laying down on the ground, maybe on the knapsack, smiling. So what was the atmosphere like?
Well, it was, there was a great deal of joy that of everybody, in a sense, together marching, and everybody, a lot
like
of people
unified.
Were singing, and a very unified sense. It was just a wonderful collective feeling that was really inspiring.
One of, as I understand it, you told me this before we got to talking, and I'm assuming this is an inspirational photo. That's one of your favorites, though, isn't it? With the young man with the flags. With the flags. Tell me more about this picture.
Well, this occurred as the march arrived at Montgomery in a tremendous rain, and the rain had just ceased. You can see his shirt is still quite wet, and he was, walking along, and I turned around, and it was one of these situations of having to photograph quickly while walking backwards, and there he was.
And you got it.
Oh, yes.
And you got it. Another one that is really poignant, but I want you to explain from your point of view why, is a woman singing.
Yes.
Let's put that photo up. Tell me more about this picture.
And this was just at Brown Chapel at Selma. Just before the march started, everybody was, "We shall overcome," and the importance of her in this, all in her fine clothing, furs and such, and the kind of the dignity and the kind of the strength of, and as if that she could, by her singing, by her presence, make this thing work. That, to me, was really an inspiring point.
Another photo I hope that we can put up is a car that has what I'm going to describe as graffiti on it that is denigrating and very negative to what's going on. Did you feel that as well as being able to capture that image?
Yeah, there was a little bit of that, and a little bit of some of the in the crowd as the march was going along. You could see this kind of animosity and that was there. But because the National Guard had been called out, and there were so many guards around, there was really no fear of any kind of problems at that point. But of course, we know that there was a woman, Viola Liozzo, that was killed the night after the march by KKK.
Right, right. Did you understand the significance of that event and what you were doing at the time?
Well, somewhat. But of course, the whole Voters' Rights Act, which was passed in August by Johnson, I couldn't foresee in all of this happening. But it was one of these things that we knew that there was something that was going to move forward on this.
Did any of your friends, family, colleagues say, don't go, it's too volatile?
Yeah. Well, my folks at the time were pretty concerned. I was just 28 years old, and I had to quickly grab coats and a few things, and they were pretty stunned by this. But later on realized the importance of what I was doing.
And again, these photos really do focus on the participants, the people that were there. Was that your mission going in, or did it evolve as you were there?
I've always photographed, studied personalities, and looked for who are the people that are involved in whatever they're doing. I mean, I've also done a lot of work with, being an Alaskan, with Yupik Eskimos of all things. It's always, who are the people that are doing what they're doing? And I feel like that's the story that I really want to tell.
I'd love to ask this question of photographers, and that is, how do you know when a moment is coming, especially in a situation like this? Was it chaotic, or did things move quickly, and did you have to depend on your instinct, your gut, to tell you this is it?
It is. It's a very quick instinct. It's almost kind of like when playing tennis. The ball comes and you don't even think about it, you hit it. And I really kind of look for those moments where, for some reason, it's kind of like, yeah, that's an important thing. And I really try to encourage those moments, so those kind of very quick, spontaneous moments. I feel like those are almost more valuable than completely consciously thinking about what you're doing.
Yeah, just amazing, just amazing. Looking at these photos, it puts us in the moment. So,
well, I would hope so. I mean, I would hope that I would be a good enough communicator that you would be communicating directly with the person in the photograph.
Yeah, mission accomplished.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Such a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
See you.
And that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow for another edition of Arise America. I'm Debbie Turner Bell.